What's good, Judge? Your man DL saying time for a DL short. Hey, listen, I'm down here in Central Florida. I've been talking a lot about DeSantis. I'm pretty sure he's a cool guy, but he has absolutely set in motion a chain of events that's going to crush a ton of Floridians. This insurance thing has reached critical mass. There's a local news affiliate down here in Florida. Let's listen to what they have to say.
The state-run Citizens Insurance is getting rid of tens of thousands of policies.
Citizens is supposed to be the insurer of last resort, but they've picked up more than 1 million policies, typically people who can't get insurance anywhere else. Tonight, NBC2's Dave Elias is explaining who's being dropped and how much more insurance is likely to cost.
Well, Citizens Insurance has swelled to 1.3 million customers. Now, it was never intended to hold that many. So Slide Insurance has agreed to take 25,000 of those policies. And Loggerhead says they will take another 1,000, even though it could end up costing you more. Even the governor says it's necessary.
And I think, as most people know, I mean, Citizens is has not been solvent. If you did have a major hurricane hit with a lot of Citizens property holders, it would not have enough to pay out.
Citizens now shedding.
So right there, you got the governor of the state, and that was months ago, saying that Citizens, the last insurer of last resort, is insolvent. That was before an intense rainstorm hit Miami and Fort Lauderdale a few months ago. This storm hit. It flooded Fort Lauderdale and parts of Fort Lauderdale, parts of Miami. The flooding was so intense that the FAA closed the Fort Lauderdale International Airport. You guys know I'm a retired air traffic controller. I don't think people realize how hard it is to close an airport. It takes a lot to close an airport. There was extreme flooding just from rain. So when the governor said, well, if there were a big hurricane were to hit, the insurance couldn't pay out, Citizens couldn't pay out, right? Well, that rainstorm hit and caused a lot of flooding. I guarantee you that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And we're looking at 1.3 million, I think he said, millions of people who are forced to carry this insurer. Like, they have to, and it's not designed to carry that kind of weight, that kind of volume. What are these people going to do? So let's listen to what the governor's fix is.
Policies, 26,000, according to the state document.
Citizens has depopulated times in the past too, and they're going to have to look at depopulation more.
New state law signed by the governor would allow companies to charge up to 20% more than Citizens.
So maybe they might have a slight increase on their homeowners, but now they don't have to carry flood insurance, so it could be a really benefit to them.
And Citizens is requiring all policyholders to get flood insurance, something they may not need with a private insurer.
It could be silver lining for those people.
Florida's insurance commissioner calls this move a good sign.
It's a sign of a healthy market when there are private carriers that are available to depopulate Citizens.
Notice is expected to go out soon, but no word on how much more it may cost policyholders.
You could have some sort of rate hike. You could have no rate hike whatsoever. It will entirely depend on what the individual policy looks like.
And Citizens policyholders closely watching their mailboxes. Dave Elias, NBC2.
Now, what dude said was a complete lie. I'm just going to keep it 100. There's nothing good coming out of this. All of the major insurance companies have pulled out of Florida. They've been pulling out for a while now. There are people getting 20, 30, 40% increases on their premium for the year. That's going on right now. This is before all the stuff that they're talking about in that news video. I personally know folks who are looking at 25% increases, 30, 40, 50%, not 50 yet, but I've seen a little bit over 40% increases. I've already seen it. So, and what does that translate into? For some properties, over $1,000 more for the premium for the year. That's what's going on right now. And the governor's people aren't doing anything about it. To have the insurance commissioner say, well, this could be a good thing because you have some company that I never heard of coming into Florida is going to take over, 36,000 policies out of a million plus. And the governor has allowed them to charge 20% more. That's 20% on top of what Citizens has been charging, and Citizens is charging the max. Think about that. You can charge 20% more. So how much more you think they're going to charge? They throw on 20% on top of this, 20% on top of already bloated stuff. Like I said, 15, 25, 35%. People are seeing these increases now. You're going to throw 20% on top of that? Now you're over 50% increases. That's if they will cover your home. And they're saying, well, you don't have to cover flood insurance. It's flooding everywhere in Florida. Right? It's flooding. I just told you. A freak storm hit Miami and Fort Lauderdale, and it flooded it so bad they had to shut down an international airport. So people are walking around with these mortgages and they don't have proper coverage. This is a huge, huge problem. Right? So there's another there's an article out there from the Intercept. And I think the Intercept is just one of those YouTube publications or whatever, not YouTube, but internet kind of publications, the crowdfunded kind of thing. And this article is talking about what the DeSantis administration has been doing down here with the insurance companies. And I thought it was really good. I just want to, just kind of touch on it a little bit. Ron DeSantis has raked in $3.9 million from insurance industry. New report reveals the governor has overseen the dramatic rise in home insurance premiums as legislative giveaways to insurance companies. Right. And this was May 3rd, 2023. Again, normally these stories start with the smaller outlets and then it seeps into the big outlets. And people have been talking about it. I know Breaking Points have been talking about it. And of course, MSNBC, who is obviously against DeSantis, because we all know, MSNBC, they don't skew left. They are way left. So they're going to come after him. Right. And you also have the right coming after DeSantis, and Trump is going to be all over this. So Florida Ron DeSantis and his political action committee have received millions of dollars from insurance stakeholders as he has overseen massive giveaways in the insurance industry, according to a new report. Florida homeowners, meanwhile, face ballooning insurance prices and are under increasing economic strain in one of the state's hardest hit by climate change, right? So climate change, whether you believe it or not, it is what it is. The storms down here are pretty intense. I'm just putting it out there. The governor's committee and the Friends of Ron DeSantis PAC raked in $3.9 million from the insurance industry since its foundation in 2018. According to a report released Wednesday by Hedge Clippers, a campaign organized by the Center for Popular Democracy, including more than 150,000 in one day from dozens of State Farm agents. The governor's inaugural fund was also backed by a combined 125,000 from two property casualty insurers, People's Trust Insurance, and a subsidiary of Heritage Insurance. Now, here's the thing. This is just normal politics, guys. When you have PACs, like political action committees, yeah, they're going to put money behind people that they want. They're going to put money behind their candidate. Actually, they're going to spread the money around. They'll put money behind all of the candidates, right? That's what they do. That's politics. They want to rub elbows. They want to make sure that they put some money behind the people who are going to win from the people who they think are going to win to the long shots. So that's normal. And those numbers aren't really that crazy. DeSantis is not failing to hold the insurance industry accountable. Correction. DeSantis is not only failing to hold the insurance industry accountable, reads the report. Critically, he is failing to bring down rates for Florida homeowners. The American Federation of Teachers and Florida Rising, a grassroots voting rights and organization group, also contribute to the report titled How Ron DeSantis Sold Out Florida Homeowners. All right, so this is definitely political. These are people who are coming, they're taking shots at DeSantis. I get that. You know what I mean? And people are like, well, you're doing the same thing, saying you're over here being political. No, I'm just pointing out there's a huge problem and the governor has failed to address it. That's it. You know what I mean? But the article goes on. The new analysis is based on a review of Florida Department of State campaign finance records. It goes on. It talks about more of the PACs, like donors to DeSantis PAC, who reported employment in the insurance industry from January 2018 to December 2022. The report has also used the Florida Office of Insurance Regulation to assess insurance rate hikes since DeSantis took office. Now, the insurance issues in Florida, they're not DeSantis' problem. Like, he didn't create this issue. This has been around forever. But after Hurricane Ian, steps should have been taken to kind of shore this thing up, especially if you're thinking you want to get into the White House. You have to be looking at this and say, hey, man, this could bite me in the butt. Let's do something about it. I'm pretty sure that the steps that they took, they thought were good enough to, take care of this. And it wasn't. Homeowner, these Florida homeowner insurance rates they're skyrocketing, and they've been doing this for a long time. And it says this here: under DeSantis' watch, home insurance premiums have risen from $1,988 to $4,231 on average. That's a huge increase, guys. That's a huge increase from $1,988, right? And I believe that's a year, to $4,231 on average. That's how much it's gone up, putting Floridians under financial strain to pay for insurance that sits at nearly 3 times the national average. Again, these things aren't new. 3 times the national average. And this year, home insurance premiums are expected to increase another 40%. And I can confirm that just from people I know talking to folks. Homeowners are paying more. It is these rates are going up. An issue that former President Donald Trump has hammered DeSantis over as the governor weighs a challenge to Trump in the GOP presidential primary. Yes, Trump is going to be making it known how bad it is down here in Florida, right? And it goes on. It gives a quote from Donald Trump. So DeSantis is so focused on the White House that he has completely dropped the ball on this insurance thing down here in Florida. It is insane. And if you're running for the White House and you think that your opponents, the people who are running for that same job, aren't going to point this out, something wrong with you. And this is just one of many issues down here in Florida. There's some big issues down here in Florida. They're just down here brewing. I don't understand why the governor and all his men and women have missed this. Right? This article goes on to say that the $2 billion giveaway program, which used taxpayer funds to subsidize industry risk, was called reassurance to assist policyholders, but there is little evidence that it lived up to its name. Right? Costs for the policyholders rose after the passage of the taxpayer-funded subsidy. I get it. Ron DeSantis wanted to, help out the big business guys, the insurance people, but what he did not really help. I'm gonna link this article in the description so you guys can go back and read the whole thing. And please go out there and find your own articles. This is a huge problem in Florida. We're in a recession. Companies are tightening their belts. Layoffs are coming. Now, down here in Florida, there are a lot of jobs available. You can't go anywhere without seeing help wanted, help wanted, help wanted. But what type of jobs are there, and what kind of money can you make doing these jobs? Most of the people who are working down here buying homes and whatnot, they came from other places. They came from very expensive areas like, California, New York, stuff like that. They're down here. These numbers to them is nothing. But if they lose their job or if they take a pay cut, now they got a problem. Insurance is going up. Gas is going up. Food costs are up. Energy costs are up. And wages aren't up. This is a serious problem, not just in Florida, but throughout the United States. This is a bad thing. going into this recession. There are a lot of people out here like, well, look, I'm in Florida. I'm renting. I'm not a homeowner. Why do I care? It's not going to affect me. Yes, it will. You may not own the building that you're living in. You may be renting that building, but the owner of that building is going to get this 40% increase, 40% plus increase on the insurance premium for those buildings. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to pass that right down to you. So yes, you're going to be paying more rent. When it's time to renew, you're going to be paying more. And if you, where are you going to go? Well, I'm going to go to another building. They're paying more too. This affects the entire state. So I just want to get you guys thinking about this, man. I just want to plant the seed. We've been talking about this on I Really Want to Know podcast for a couple months now. Looks like mainstream media is starting to catch on slowly. YouTube is all over it. Ron DeSantis he's got problems. He's got problems. He can forget about the White House. And if I were Ron DeSantis and his people, I was like, you know what? We're going to forget about the White House and we're going to focus on this state. I said it from the very beginning. There's no way that Ron DeSantis should be running for president in 2024. He just isn't ready. He should have focused on Florida, fixed the issues in Florida, show his leadership skills and his ability to lead a state, and then in 2028 run for president. That would have been my take. Like, hey, I'm pretty sure people told him to do that, but he wanted to make a run at it. He wants to out-Trump Donald Trump, which he can't do. And meanwhile, the state of Florida is going to suffer. So there it is, man. This is a little longer, short than I normally do, but I wanted to get that information out there. I want you guys to see that clip from one of the local news agencies down here, the local news affiliates. Talk to your people, man. If you're down here in Florida, come up with a plan. You're going to need more money. Citizens is going to begin to drop. Policyholders. Citizens is the last insurance company standing. It's the company of last resort. Citizens is supposed to be used as a stopgap for you to find proper insurance with some other carrier. And it only seems to be one insurance company willing to come down here and even take some of that overflow. And they're only taking 26,000 out of 1.3 million. Florida has a problem. All right. Food for thought, man. I hope you guys are all right. Continue. Have a good Thursday, man. It is what it is. I'm DL Saint. This is a deal short, man. I'm going to talk to you later. Peace.